Wombat Jones here for Ramen Chokehold. I'm at Australian Top Team in Wentworthville with Sumam Mokhtarian. How you going, mate?
Good, thank you. How are you?
Yeah, good, mate. And we're here because we're here to talk about Australian MMA and everything else that you've got going on in your life, which is quite a few things.
Yeah.
So why don't we just start straight off the top today? We just sat down on the lounge and watched Jessie Jess fight Paige Van Zandt. She got the nod, and what do you think of her performance?
I think it was good. I think being in the co-main event for the second time in a row, I think there was a bit of pressure on her. I think she dealt with it well. Paige is a tough and experienced opponent. She had a lot of UFC fights, and I think Jessie just showed her grit to want to win that fight. You know, she had a smart game plan. Paige is kind of awkward rushing in, and she negated that, and she used more of her ground game and top pressure as well. It would have been good to see her throw a little bit more on top, but she did what she had to do to win, and that's what's important at this level. You know, she's showing that she can hang with those people and not just go in there and fight, but fight towards a smart game plan. She's got a great team out there. She trains with Casey Halstead, who I trained with at Planet Jiu-Jitsu, and she's from Syndicated MMA with John Wood as well. So she's got a real good core group of people over in the States, and she's got a family back home as well in Australia.
And it's awesome to see, like, you know, an Australian UFC member, because there's not many.
No, I think we've got like
seven or eight.
Yeah, 7 or 8. It's good, you know. You look at the talent in those 7 or 8 people. It's amazing, you know. You see Damian Brown, performance after performance, putting on a show. You know, like, he's never in a boring fight. You know, he's kill or be killed. Another great guy that we've got representing us, and then we've got the champ Robert Whittaker, who just recently got injured, but man, words can't describe the impact that he's had, not just for MMA fighters, but I think inspiring athletes in Australia. You know, so we've got great leaders and great fighters in the UFC, and I'm happy to see all of them. You know, some people would be like, oh no, this person should be there or that person should be there. The fighters that are there have represented well and done a great job for the sport.
And it's something that I've noticed, especially travelling around all the gyms now, is that, you know, tall poppy syndrome. You know, if someone starts going well, everyone likes to sort of cut them down in Australia, and we're trying to get away from that trend, aren't we, mate? Especially what you guys are doing over at UFN as well. That's your local promotion.
Yes.
Out of Liverpool in Sydney there.
Yeah.
And you guys love working with all the gyms and all the fighters and really trying to boost up, to try and get more people into the UFC and promotions like that.
That's right. Well, I think the issue that's becoming is a lot of fighters are looking at a small thing. They're looking locally, and they're thinking about the competition there. The real competition is out there in the world. Doesn't matter if we fight each other or not. You know, sometimes friends have to fight each other in Australia or whatever it is. They know each other. They want to get a belt or whatever. But I think the main thing is that everyone needs to kind of look outside of Australia. And needs to realize it's a sport here, and it doesn't matter who gets there. Everyone's just got to kind of work together and help push each other. You know, if a fighter from another gym is doing well, why should we shut him down? We should promote that fighter. We should push that fighter on the world stage. If he makes it, then more fighters will make it. You know, at the moment we've got 7 or 8 guys in the UFC. I think that if we all helped each other, and I've said it before, if Queensland helps New South Wales, New South Wales helps Perth, or vice versa, Adelaide, wherever it may be. If we all just help each other, we'll have a couple more, and we'll show more of what we can do, which brings our market to another level. You know, we want to raise our market, and the only way to do that is by help promoting each other. You know, I think that one of the tools that a lot of fighters lack is marketing. You know, so I think that marketing is very important. Helping each other out is very important. And obviously fighting, you know, helps.
Well, that does. But I mean, if we're going to talk to the younger crowd now, you know, younger fighters that are starting to work their way through, and you're talking about self-promotion, what's your advice to them? I mean, your social media in the last month's been blowing up, you know.
Yeah.
What's your advice to these young people that are really starting to come through? They're great fighters, but no one knows who they are.
Have fun. Have fun is the main thing. And that's always going to be my thing about it. Everyone kind of knows me on Facebook to be a bit of a troll and have a little bit of a laugh, and that's the main thing. I'm just enjoying myself. I'm having fun, and I'm communicating with people. That's the number one thing that is the problem between fighters. They're not communicating with the people that are watching the fights. They're not communicating with the outside world. You know, jump on Twitter, jump on Instagram, jump on all these social media things, and put your name out there. And don't be someone that you're not. Don't portray something that you don't even enjoy. If you want to be a showman, that's all fine. That's all good. Be a showman, you know. But make sure that you're enjoying being that person. You know. We're in a sport of entertainment nowadays. Alright, we're here, and there's a lot of great fighters. There's so many great fighters in not just Australia, around the world that aren't in the UFC or Bellator or Ryzen and all this stuff. The thing that's going to set those fighters apart is enjoying the journey, you know, and hoping for the best. And if it happens, it happens. And if it doesn't, hopefully you can push it to the limit and get to the highest level that you could get just by a bit of self-promotion as well. You know, that's one thing I've kind of told my fighters is make sure if you're promoting yourself, you're enjoying the person that you're promoting. You're enjoying the entertainment value that you're putting out there. If you don't like it, if you don't like posting things on Instagram and doing all that, it becomes a bitter job and you end up hating it. This sport is meant to be fun. Some guys say, oh, this is my life, and it's this and it's that, and it might well be, but if you don't enjoy your day job, don't do it, you know?
Yeah.
I enjoy what I do, I love what I do, I love coming to the gym every day, I love seeing people satisfied after their training, even before their training, excited to train. I've made a life for myself that I enjoy, and I get my enjoyment out of other people as well. You know, half the time I'm not even focused on myself. I'm just kind of having fun with everything and just being a part of the journey.
And that's great advice. I mean, and you got your own management company, One Hour Fighter Management.
Yes.
And we've got a couple of big signings happening in the last few weeks.
Yeah, we just had Raymar Quintana signed to Phoenix. Phoenix Fighting Championship. That's over in like Abu Dhabi. They're holding a show in Thailand at Rajdhan Stadium. It's an amazing promotion. It's really rising up. But I've been signing some great fighters as well. I've signed former UFC fighter Ian Entwistle, who everyone knows for his amazing heel hooks. You know, Adam Bunrad, Mac from ONE FC.
Who lost to an Australian last?
Who did? Reese McLaren.
Reese McLaren.
Like, man, Reese is on another level. Reese is a man. You know, Reese is a fighter that personally I enjoy fighting. Watching him fight. He's an amazing wrestler, BJJ black belt, and he's not scared to bang. You know, so he's a great fighter, great representative. So I seen that fight, and it's no shame losing to someone like Reese. And you know he'll be back. He's competed at a high level, and you know I've signed him. I've recently started signing some Muay Thai and K1 fighters as well. I signed Aris Saliba, who's a two-time world champion in Muay Thai, and we're looking to push him on the world stage too. You know, he's been doing some pro boxing, but looking to kick that world stage on a K1 level. So working on some really big things. You know, I've already had so many great fighters with One Hour Fight Management. We've got Shane Mitchell, who now that in my opinion, now that Israel Adesanya signed to the UFC, I think Shane is the next big thing at middleweight. He's on a great 4-fight win streak. You got Dawood Sagret, who I think if you just look at one video of him, you'll realize the guy's got Xanax pills for hands. He deserves to be up there. So many fighters that I could say from my own company that deserve to be there, but there's so many great fighters in Australia.
So let's touch on them. Why don't you name it? You know, some of the up and coming guys that you've seen that you think is really going to be the next big thing in Australian MMA.
Not with me.
Not with you.
Okay, not with me. I think the standout for me at the moment would definitely have to be Isaac Hardman. I think there's no question about that. He's fought some great guys in his last couple of fights, but more importantly than that, I think he has the mentality of a fighter. He has the right game plan going into his fights, and you know his game plan might always be the same, but it's something that really works for him, and he does it really well. He's a great boxer, good length, and he's got great timing and he's got great cardio. I think he's an extremely good representative for Australian MMA. He comes out of a great camp, Integrated MMA, under Adrian Pang, and they've had so many great guys come through there. Like I just said, Damian Brown before, they've got Ben 10 over there. I think he is definitely one of the standouts. I think another standout would have to be Kit Campbell. I think he's 8-2. He's the Hex welterweight champion. Man, that guy just does not stop. His last fight with John Vake from CKB in New Zealand on Hex in Perth was amazing. I was literally a meter away from the cage with my mouth just wide open, and not just at Kit, at how good, how tough even John was, man. Australia-New Zealand battle just turned into like one of the best fights I've ever seen live. John showed his heart, Kit showed that he could keep going, and it was just an amazing fight to watch. We've got so many guys. Man, name a weight class, and I can name a bunch of fighters. We've got Shannon Ross as well. He is now one of my guys, but I can't rave on enough about the guy. He just came off a first round knockout at
ACB, yeah, big
which
win.
is a big win against an international opponent who was a black belt in jiu-jitsu, and he knocked him out in the first round. And you know, he'd fought my brother, and I think he'd gotten better from when he had that loss, and he's a fighter that I'm really happy to be working with. And man, like I look at fight cards now in Australia, and I just see on every fight card from amateurs to pros, I just see more and more names that are going to make it. And like I look at an amateur and I'm like, man, if obviously we know some guys don't stick to it. They stick to it, man. Like some of these fighters are just amazing. There is an amateur fighter that I remember I seen. He came through UFN. And he trains out at Full Circle MMA. Adam Bailey. He's I think 5-0 as an amateur right now. He's a bantamweight, gas tank that doesn't stop. Awesome hands, great takedown defense. I think, man, when that kid goes into the pro ranking, he's going to be one person to look out for. Adam Bailey.
And you've got to stay on top of all of this for your own promotion too, don't you? You know, you're looking to sign fighters to fights, especially in the amateur ranks, which is the only way that we're going to boost the professional ranks.
Well, that's right. Well, I think there's a bit of a problem nowadays. It's like some fighters are going into the pros without any pro fights, and I can understand that as heavyweights or maybe light heavyweights, like the bigger boys that don't get as many, they might get 1 or 2 fights. But then there's other people that are in the amateur rankings, and maybe they've had like 6-7 fights, and maybe that's not enough for some people, but they're never pushing them to that professional level. I think that there's like a little bit of a middle area in Australian MMA where it's like, do we keep them amateur, or do we just send them pro straight away? I think that the team, there needs to be like some type of system maybe where we can create where guys get enough amateur experience to go into a pro level. You've got guys in America that are having 15-20 amateur fights, you know, and you go to the UK, exact same thing, guys are having 10, 15, 20 amateur fights. Then you got guys in Australia that are having 2-3 going pro, which is fine, but we want to see more. We want to see the gyms back the promotions back the fighters the right way, and everyone's got to mix, you know. A lot of managers might not work with a certain gym, you know, and then they don't end up signing the fighter or whatever it is. I think a manager, a gym, the promotions, everyone needs to just come together and build something great. Like I said, we've got some amazing gyms here in Sydney. We've got Elvis Sinisic, who has his King's MMA, he's a UFC fighter. He's on Fox Books for doing the stuff with the UFC. We've got Anthony Parash with his gym, Team Parash. We've got KMA as well. You know, we've got KMA. They're an amazing gym. They've just They've got a two-time world champion in Martin. They've got Theo Christakos, who's an amazing fighter as well. If that guy gets your back, it's like game over.
Yeah,
you know?
He's fighting for the AFC title.
Oh yeah,
March.
that's right, against Anton Zafir.
Yep.
You know, and then they got a young fighter who just recently had a loss, James Van Der Arkus, another amazing fighter. They've got a great group of guys there, and Fiery Salaveski really looks out for his fighters as well, and he really puts in a lot for those guys that he's got. Another great gym. We've got so many gyms around Sydney.
Let's not forget to mention Australian top team,
Oh yeah,
where we are
Australian
now.
top team as well. You know, we do our part. We're still a relatively new team. Some people we're still like earning our stripes, as you would say. I would still consider us a small fish in a big pool of sharks. You know what I mean? But I think our growth has been well over the 4.5 years we've been open. You know, I still think we've got a long way to go. I'm still young myself, so I'm learning as I'm going. And you know that we don't want to be able to say we're better than these teams or anything, because teams have earned their dues. You know, all these teams. You know, like I said, you got Integrated MMA, who, in my opinion, are one of the best gyms in Australia. They're a great gym. You've got Puma as well over there in Queensland. You know, you've got so many good guys, and I know the Puma guys as well. Under Vince Perry, Vince has been around the game for years. Vince used to live down the road from this gym when he was young. You know, and they've all been around for so long. I don't even like. I wouldn't say my gym name. I wouldn't like my name kind of even with those guys yet. I've got maybe another 30 years to go before I get there. But
You're very humble.
Yeah,
You're
no,
very
it's not that I'm humble. It's that I pay respect to where it should. Like you said, Queensland, you've got this great group of gyms that are really leading. Sydney, I feel like we've got a core group of guys that are really leading. Perth, same thing. You got the guys from MMA Clinic out in Perth who are like booming. You know, they got the Della brothers who are amazing to watch fight. I'm a big fan of watching them fight. I think they're really good, and they got some great guys coming through the ranks as well. And a lot of them coming through Eternal. You got the Mac 1 guys who just got a great core group of guys. Alden Bates is one of the guys I really like watching fight because he just goes for it every time. You know, you got Jack Becker as well, who's a great fighter. Amazing. He just lost to Callum Potter, but that's no defeat. He went out hard, and I think he'd come back better as well. So, like I said, Australia's got talent in every state. It's just about making sure that we're promoting, we're pushing, and we're helping out everyone. If we fight, that's fine. Everyone needs to kind of realize a fight is just that. You know, it's a sport. We can all be professional about it. We don't need to throw anyone down or anything like that. We just need to kind of come together, get business done, and hope that business leads to more business, and that's out there in the rest of the world.
And speaking of that, I was at UFC Sydney, as were you with your brother and also Nadia.
Yeah.
And mixed results there. Nadia obviously got the win, and Ash didn't. But what I really wanted to talk about was the crowd in that fight.
Yeah.
Now I'm sitting there in the crowd just as a punter. I wasn't covering the event, and I honestly couldn't believe my ears. You know, Ash stuck to his game plan. He was out there, but he was fighting 10 minutes away from the gym, 10 minutes away from where he lives.
Yeah.
And here's all the Australian MMA fans booing him. So what was that like for you? I mean, you're there trying to give him instructions while the fight's going on. Did you hear that?
Yeah.
Were you worried about that?
Yeah, I was, and I think it maybe did play a little part in it, because in between rounds when I was speaking to my brother, I was like, man, you're doing well, and he was ahead on the judges' scorecards, and I thought he was ahead as well. It was a game plan that we had going into it to make sure we had a lot of movement, making sure we try and get Ryan flat and explode when he's flat and then back off again. You know, we knew Ryan was a great wrestler, and it would have been hard to get Ryan down, so we wanted to make sure we'll just keep his feet moving and attacking, and Ash was catching him a few times, but that's the thing about it. It is a sport of entertainment. We are trying to entertain. That fight may not have been entertaining to some, but those guys pay money to watch blood, you know. You can't say that they're friends and family of Ash or necessarily fans of Ash. They might not be fans, they might not like him. That's all fine. Those guys pay for a certain thing. If they don't like what they're seeing, they can have their opinion. At the end of the day, he's fighting the best fighters in the world on the number one elite promotion in the world in the UFC. And at that time, getting the win was important, and he got caught. He lost, and that's something that he's got to deal with. That's something that he's got to bounce back with, and it's something that is a part of the sport. You know, you're gonna have your good times, you're gonna have your bad times. You know, he's had 2 fights in the UFC, and they haven't gone his way. But that's part of the sport. You know, it's about picking yourself back up. It's about coming into the sport again and showing what you're really capable of. He's still with the UFC. He's not going to get cut. He is getting another fight. So it's, in my opinion, his last chance to show us something. You might have a 4-fight deal, but that doesn't necessarily mean you're going to see the 4 fights out. The UFC really like Ash, and it's good. But you got to remember, in his first fight, he fought the number 10 ranked guy in the world, who straight after that knocked out an undefeated fighter. Ash went 3 rounds with him, and he might not have done as good as everyone would have wanted him to do, but he still stuck in there, took his beating like a man, and he got out, and he came back, and that was hard for him. He came in his last fight, and he was winning rounds. You know, now he's got 20. He got knocked out or TKO'd in the last 2 minutes of that fight. He's got 28 minutes of octagon experience now. The other guys had 12 fights and 6 fights. You know, so 18 fights over his 28 minutes or 2 fights.
Yes.
You know, it was a tall task. He's still adjusting and he's still learning. He may be older in age, and it's amazing that he's got that, but he's always gonna keep trucking. He's always gonna keep moving. He's always gonna just keep trying to do the best he can. A lot of people didn't expect for him to make it as far as he did. And starting the sport at the age of 27, not having a fight until the age of 28, turning pro at the age of 29, and making the UFC by the time he was 32. You know, and now he's 33 years old. He's already done a lot more good things. Forget about Australian MMA, but for himself and his family, and that's what matters most. It's about making yourself a better person. He's not too worried about anything. For a while, you could say he was depressed about the loss and the booze and everything, but I think as days go past, he just realizes all that matters is self-improvement and just working on more things, and getting another chance is an amazing thing. You know, a lot of guys get cut after 1 fight, so it's good that we've got 2 fights and the UFC back us. And speaking to Mick Maynard and Sean Shelby, you know, the conversations are always good. You know, they like Nadia, they like Ash, and they like the next couple of guys that are coming through as well.
So we've left it to last because you rarely speak about yourself, because you've got that much going on between the gym, the management company, the promotion. But yourself, you're an undefeated fighter, and a couple of months ago, or last month, or whenever it was, you took the trek over to the tough tryouts over in Las Vegas. You'd never been to Vegas before.
No.
What was being in Vegas like? Don't tell me about the experience on the tough trials. I want to know what Vegas was like. Did you get to go out? Did you get to see the side? Because I've never been before, and I'm dying to go.
Nah, to be honest with you, the first couple of days I got there, I was so jet lagged I couldn't do anything. But it was an amazing experience. Like getting off the plane and like driving to my hotel. And just like looking around, I was just like, man, I can't believe I'm here. And like, I didn't get flown there by the UFC or anything. You know, I had some great sponsors. You know,
Give them a shout out.
BodyFit. They got me over, and some amazing people that supported me. And if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't have gone. I didn't want to go to the trials. I wasn't interested. And you can even ask my brother and Alex. I didn't book my ticket until maybe 3 or 4 days after the trials. You know, everyone was like, go, it's just an experience. Even if you don't get in, it's just an experience. I went there and I'm happy I got to experience Vegas. I'm happy I got to see, like I was walking down the road and just tripping out that there was a chapel on the corner of the street. I'd walk into the 7-Eleven, there was like pokies machines. I got off the plane and like still in the terminal. I walk out and there was like pokies machines, and I was like, I'm not a gambler.
Insane.
I'm not a gambler. I used to play poker. I used to play a lot of poker, but since like I've never been into like pokies machines and stuff like that. So kids, don't gamble.
No slot machines.
No gambling. But I found myself waiting for my bag, and at the baggage claim, all around the baggage claim, they have pokies machines. Yeah,
that's incredible.
So I'm like sitting there, and I'm like, oh. I'm in Vegas, let me try my luck. You know, I just chucked $10 in, and I just really wanted to pull the lever down on those machines. And it was a good experience. I lost the $10.
Don't gamble, kids.
You know, don't gamble. And I like, just for the sake of it, I jumped on the blackjack table because we were staying at the station, Palace Station Casino. You know, and while I was like, well, I'll play on the tables a little bit. I think I lost like $80 the whole time. So it's pretty good, but I only lost $80.
In Vegas, yeah.
In Vegas, you know, but I wasn't there to gamble. I went to the strip once, and I actually I just went and I experienced it. I got some training done, like I said, 10th Planet Jiu-Jitsu with Casey Olstead and Jess.
Yeah.
You know, they had guys like Anthony Burchak in the room, John McGuire.
Yeah, right.
You know, that place is amazing. If anyone is in Vegas, make sure you check out any of the 10th Planet Jiu-Jitsu gyms. Casey Olstead is one of the nicest and like coolest guys to speak to, and there's like a mastermind when it comes to jiu-jitsu. And not only that, he makes it fun and he keeps it real. You know, like if you're messing up on the mat, he'll let you know exactly what you're messing up on and what you should be doing. You know, but he's a real cool guy, and I enjoyed my time in Vegas, getting to train, getting to drive around, go and like check out like sites, see the big Vegas sign. I learned what a dispensary is. You know, I learned what a dispensary is. But it was cool.
Kids.
Yeah, the kids don't
worry about dispensaries.
Don't go to the dispensary. But I experienced some good things in Vegas. I didn't party when I was there. I didn't go to any of the clubs or any of the strip clubs or anything like that. I'm not really a clubbing type of person. If you ask me what I'm doing on a Saturday night, I'm usually at home watching TV. You know, my girlfriend will be over and I'm watching a movie, but I'm not really the clubbing. I'm not the drinking type. I used to a little bit when I was younger, but I can't remember the last time I had a drink. I might have had a beer on a Sunday at a barbecue or something, like just one.
Yeah.
But I've never been a drinker, not because of health or anything like that. It's just because I've just never been that type of person to want to get off my face and party and jump on a table and go wild, you know. I made a fool of myself once at my brother's wedding for drinking too much. I was like, nah, not for me.
That's enough.
Yeah.
So, tell us about Tough then. You had to grapple first, then if you got through that, you went to striking, and if you got through that, then you went to some interviews. Now, I know you got through all the stages of that. Is there anything else you can tell us about it?
Yeah, so I'll take you through all the stages. We start with grappling. Obviously, when we start with grappling, they bring us into a room first. They get us to fill out all these forms and give us an ID number, take photos, have everything prepared. And they've got the 3 weight classes that they had, 45, 55, 70. They called all the 45s in, and when you walk into the room, it's just an intimidating room. You know, you've got like the board there who's like Sean Shelby and Mick Maynard and Gary DeFranco, who's one of the producers. Luckily for me, I knew them, so I got to go give them a little bit of a handshake and speak to them.
Teacher's pet.
You know, I had to go suck up to them a little bit. But you know, because they knew I was coming, and I had a few emails and talks with them before I even got there. And so we get there. Sean Shelby comes out and gives us a bit of a pep talk about not so much a pep talk, about what he wants to see, what we're all there for, and what we should expect. Kept it short, brief, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, and then it's like, all right, we're on to grappling. And there was this certain like feeling in the air, like it was tense. You know, a lot of fighters were tense, and then I was just kind of like relaxed and like messing around. And some of the guys were like just warming up for ages and ages and ages. And then I remember watching the first 2 guys roll. And it honestly looked like two lions were just attacking each other, like going hard out. But it was cool. It was intense. 90 seconds and you're up. You know, at the end of that, then they call the next two people, next two people, next two people, and you roll. And then after you're done rolling, they tell you straight away, hey, everyone go get your wraps on, get your gloves ready, get ready to hit pads. But we're gonna call out the people who have made it through to the pad round.
So how many did they cut in that first stage? So like half the room gone?
Half the room gone.
Half the room was gone after
More
that?
than half the room was
Wow.
gone after 90 seconds in it. And it sucks because I know like a lot of fighters travel from like Japan, from Russia, from all around the world. And it sucks that after 90 seconds, but I think the UFC beforehand know who they kind of want there. There might have been a few guys that really stood out to them, and they're like, all right, we'll take this guy, take this guy, take this guy. And they cut people out. Some people obviously got upset, you know. But it is.
Well, it would have been their first loss.
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
they're full of undefeated fighters
Yeah,
in there, so
that's right.
for someone to tell you that you're not good enough when you're undefeated.
That's right. You know what the thing was? There was so much talent in that room. I think that like 95% of those guys could have made it, like to any level. Or there were some amazingly talented fighters, and got through that round. Then got to hit pads. Got some good words from the pads. You know, they kind of like let you know if they think you did really well. And then if you made it through that, again they cut people. And they say, okay, you guys are on for interviews, and they have you waiting around for a little bit. They had us waiting around for a while. Then we did our interviews. While we're doing our interviews, the 55ers are going in that room.
Yeah.
And
Mate, tell
the
me some of
interviews
the-
are with the producers.
Right.
The interviews are not with the matchmakers or anything like that. Then it's on. So the matchmakers pretty much are choosing on skill and everything, and then it goes over to the producers.
So what sort of questions were the producers asking you? You know, if anyone's going to go through this experience, maybe you can give them a hand.
Yeah, it was actually really basic things. They're like, okay, so you're from Australia, you train in Australia. Do you go anywhere else to train? Why'd you make the trip over to Vegas? How far do you expect to go in this competition? And what are you here for? What is your end? That was the main thing. And then from that, because they've got like a little bit of a briefing and stuff. For example, one of the things that they asked me, I think they kind of ask you a few questions to throw you off, see how you react and how you answer the questions back. And obviously, it's television, so they want to see how you handle pressure. For instance, they asked me, how would I feel about fighting one of my teammates, but my teammate from home, Alex Georgis. And you know, me and Alex actually had talked about it beforehand that if it came down to it and we had to fight, he's one of my best friends. You know, we're together day in and day out. It's not like he's my teammate or he's my student or anything like that. He's like one of my best friends, and he's family to me. And they asked me how would you feel about that, and I'm like, well, it's business. I'm like, at the end of the day, it's not about me being there for one thing or him being there for one thing. We've both signed up to the same thing, and if that's what we've got to do, that's what we've got to do. We do it in the gym all the time, so why wouldn't we want to do it, you know, on a
get
big
paid for
stage,
it.
you know? That's it. And, whoever comes out on top comes out on top. We kind of told each other that like there would be no grudges if that ever happened. We would pray and hope to God that it didn't ever happen, but we told the producer, they asked him the exact same thing. They said, would you be prepared to fight? And I said, yeah, and it kind of became a talk of it, you know? They started asking that. They asked about my brother and my girlfriend, what my UFC experiences were like. And they asked me why I want to be on the Ultimate Fighter, and I kind of laughed and I said I don't want to be on the Ultimate Fighter. To be honest with you, I'm like, I don't know. Like, oh, why did you come to Vegas then? And I'm like, because sometimes in life, it's like you get up to go to work in the morning. You don't want to go to work every morning. You know, you don't want to go there. And it's not that I don't want to go there or want to take an opportunity away from someone. I love what I love what I do. I love training every day. I love fighting. And the main reason for me to go over there was mainly to help. You know, if I can get through, like I said, I'm hoping that I can bring some people along with me. I'm hoping if I get there, I can communicate and get more people to that stage. I'm hoping that this interview, for instance, will help more fighters know what it takes. Like when you go over there, when you go to trials, if I could help a fighter in one situation, whether they're with me or not, if they can take a little bit of advice from me, then I'm doing something for Australian MMA. I've said that time and time again, and people can say whatever they want about if they think it's real or not, but this sport has changed my life. Not only helped my life, but changed my life for the better. And if it can happen for other people, then I'm very blessed. And I'm sure that other people down the track will remember the little things as well. I don't want to leave this earth and say to myself, I never helped anyone, or I never put anyone forward. I think that I'm one of those people that, as a teenager, or maybe a young adult, I would say, I've done a lot of bad things. I've hurt people. I've been a bad friend at times. I've been a bad brother at times. I've been a bad son many times. I've put my family through a lot, and people might look at my brother and think that he's the way he is. He's got these tattoos, and maybe he's like that. But I've put people through a lot of bad things in my life, and I think I want to pay for them now. I'm a strong believer in karma, and I think that there's been times in my life that karma's hit me, and I just want to help other people so that one day if I do pass, someone at least has the right thought about me. I said it from a young age, and it sounded stupid, or it sounded stupid to a lot of people. I said to myself I'd never make it to the age of 25, just because I always kept getting myself into trouble. Doing the wrong things, and I was either going to be dead or somewhere. I made it to this age, and I thank God every day for every day that I have, and I just want to make sure I'm doing the right thing by other people, doing the right thing by the people around my gym. And I just want to help people, whether they're with me or not. If one person can message me and say you helped me today, then that's a good deed, and I think it goes towards my afterlife. So.
And I say that, if there's anyone out there that might catch this interview somehow that's not in MMA, and you're going through some shit, or maybe your life's on the wrong path, you're hanging out with the wrong people, maybe drugs are involved, whatever it is, martial arts is what's turned it around for you, right?
It wouldn't even just be martial arts, it would just be direction. Some people could find it in football, some people could find it in soccer, some people can find it in making a puzzle, or some people even make it through gaming and putting videos on YouTube. Whatever it is, whatever it is, you've got to be able to put your energy into something. And I think that's a part of making yourself better. You've got to be able to put your energy into something. And I've always been the type of person when I do something, I kind of go a little bit extreme. If I was to take a drug, I'd probably take it to an extreme. If I was to get angry, I'd probably get angry to an extreme level. And I said to myself, this is what I want to do. I never said to myself I wanted to fight. I just said to myself that I just want to become better every day and train. 2 years ago, I didn't fight for 2.5 years. And I said that I never wanted to fight again. And the person that, apart from my family and friends and my training partners, one person that really spoke to me and helped me to get back to fighting was Trent James from Hex. I remember being in Korea with him, and I said to him that I just wasn't interested in fighting. This was last year, so I didn't want to fight. And he trained, he seen me train and stuff, and he was always asking me, just fight. He's the matchmaker for Hex, and he kind of, we had some sit downs and talks, and I think like an older brother or a good friend, he had tried to steer me back into fighting, and I think it helped me because even though I was doing this day in and day out, I would find myself waking up in the afternoon, and I'd go and eat anything I wanted to. I'd come and do my training still every day, But late at night I'd be eating all this bad stuff, and I'd find myself maybe gaining a little bit of weight, or you know what, I'd find myself getting depressed for no reason. And I think it was because I didn't have an end goal. You know, like I had the end goal of helping people, but I never had an end goal for myself. So when I started fighting again, I had purpose, and I had a reason to wake up, to eat clean, to make sure I'm not training on time, make sure I'm not just saying I'm training when I want to train, but you know, like I said, doing things sometimes that you didn't want to do, or an extra session that I didn't want to do late at night, having the energy to tell myself, no, I'm not going to eat this, no, I'm not going to go out at this time of night, no, I'm going to wake up, I'm going to go to sleep now, I'm going to wake up at a particular time, ready to work again. You know, it gave me direction, and that's what fighting did for me. And my reason to say that I was going to step away was because I was putting all this energy into myself. I found myself, like I said, I always went extreme. I found myself becoming a bit selfish. You know, and I think that now I'm finding that what's important is a balance. You know, like I said, waking up in the morning, making my own breakfast, or getting my lunch ready for the afternoon, cooking for myself, and getting ready. I've always had people doing everything for me, and I've always been doing things for other people. But I never did anything for myself, and I think just having a fight, an 8-week camp, you know, mentally prepared me for that, and helped me. You know? So I just tell everyone, have a goal, and I tell my guys this every single day. You know, we have like a group chat, and I'm like, man, make sure you guys are setting a goal. Like, it sounds kind of corny because I'm young, you know, I'm in my mid-20s, and I'm telling 30-year-old men, and like, have a goal, let's smash it out, let's do this, let's do that. But I'm passionate about what I do, and I just want to make sure I'm being a better person and helping other people.
So speaking about goals, and we'll end on this, what are your 2018 goals? What's coming up for Sumo?
For me or everything?
No, for you.
For me. Alright, my 2018 goals, you know what, just simply putting Australian MMA on another level. That's my goal right now, and that's what's giving me purpose to wake up and be smart. So what I realized in my goals were, if I put it towards myself or put it towards another person, you know, I had to find a middle ground. You know? So now, instead of saying, okay, I'm waking up and I'm making my food and I'm doing this, you know, for my fights, or instead of just demanding things from my fighters or stuff like that, I want to try and lead by example, in the sense of like diet, in the sense of marketing, in the sense of those things. My goal is to try and get to a position where I can just bring everyone else up. You know, everyone's seen my BJ Penn poster. You know,
Your mock poster.
yeah, my Postergate, hashtag Postergate. You know, that was just me being bored, you know, but at the same time, I wanted to do it not just to bring attention to myself, because I wanted to bring attention to Australian MMA. You know, that poster was getting shared virally.
Yeah.
You know, BJ Penn was commenting on it. And the one thing that I loved that it was saying was Australian MMA fighting.
Yeah.
You know, that's what was the thing that stood out to me the most. It said Australian. So we had an Australian MMA fighter in the same article as BJ Penn. You know, it's something so small, but it ended up getting so big, and it was a good laugh. You know, I had a producer from the UFC message me and saying congrats on getting the fight. He was legit, and sorry Gary. When he found out, he's like, I'm gonna get you back. But I'm like, but, you know, like, that's my end goal. If it takes me fighting in the UFC, then that's what I'm gonna do. I've never said to anyone I'm gonna carry a belt or anything. If I got a chance to go into the UFC, it would be like kill or be killed. You know, I'd want to fight in a way that represented Australian MMA and brought attention to Australian MMA, and it's always going to be my goal. By the end of 2018, you'll see at least 5 UFC fighters from my management side of things, with the Australian Top Team 1 Out Fighter management as well. And I'm hoping that by the end of 2018, we can double the number of UFC fighters we already have right now. Like I said, we've got eight UFC fighters, or 7 or 8 UFC fighters. I hope there will be 15, 16, 17, hopefully 20. That's the main goal. If I have to go into the UFC to do it, I'll do it. If I just have to stay behind the computer and just get things rolling, that's what I'm gonna. If I have to go fly to Vegas and I have to be on to the Ultimate Fighter show to do it, that's what I'm gonna do. My main goal is gonna be networking and making sure everyone's together. Like, I'm doing the same thing you're doing, you know. That's my goal. You can't say if someone came to you and asked you, why do you do this?
What do I do? You're going to throw it on me, are you?
Why do you do this?
For one reason only, and it's because I believe after playing so many sports in my life, I finally found one that's the best, the one that makes most sense, and it's just so small here, and I think I've got some of the tools to help build everyone up. That's the only reason why I'm doing it. I mean, I've spent, you know, in 3 months, I've probably spent the best part of 15, 20 grand traveling around the country, interviewing gyms. I'm not getting paid for it, I don't have sponsors, I'm not doing none of that. But the main reason is to make sure that everyone who's actually in this sport is boosted up.
So I guess we're doing the same thing.
We're doing the same thing.
And that's always been my goal. When I was 10, 15 years old, I never had a dream to be a UFC fighter. I never had the dream to be a world champion. I never had the dream of that. I wanted to be a footy player. You know what I mean? But I wasn't good enough.
Peaceful.
You know, not only that, I just wasn't good enough. You know, I couldn't get the ball. You know? But, you know, yeah. I knew that I wanted to do something to impact it. And, you know, sometimes someone is an amazing athlete and they can get there. I'm okay.
Yeah.
You know, I'm good. You know, and can I compete with the best in the world? Yeah, of course I can. You know, but I think that my mind is a way more powerful tool than the body. And, you know, and if I get too many punches to the head, then I'm not going to be able to use that mind. I just want to bring up everything in Australian MMA and the world MMA. I take a lot of inspiration from a lot of great managers. You know, like a lot of people that are out there and they're fighting for their fighters. And, you know, I just want to keep pushing and see how far I can get. Like I said, if it's not one of my fighters that make it to the UFC, to Bellator, to Ryzen, or to any of these countries, that's fine. As long as there's more of us making it, you know. When I see a fighter get signed, I genuinely get happy. You know.
High tides raise all ships.
Yeah, you know, like at the end of the day, we're raising a flag. You know, you were raising a flag, and a lot of because my background is Iranian. I was born in Australia, so I consider myself an Australian as much as anything. But the thing I realized about an Iranian fighter is when one fighter makes it, they're all posting photos of him, and he's got that flag up in the air. You know, and you see it a lot with different Filipino fighters that love it. They back their fighters so much. You know, and kind of in Australia, you know, a fighter makes it and it's like, good on you.
Yeah.
Good on you.
How did you get there?
Yeah, how did you get there? You know, or like a fighter will make it and then other fighters will quickly like
what
throw
about
it
me?
down. Oh yeah, or be like, oh, what has he done? I should be there. Or, it's not about I should be there or you should be there. Because really, getting into the UFC is a lot of.
Yeah.
It's lucky. I'll show you fighters outside the UFC who are better than guys in the UFC, but they just weren't seen. You know, I'll show you guys with losing records who are just as good. You know, records don't mean anything either. You know, I'm 8-0. Doesn't mean someone could be 2-2 and they could be just as good as me. I will show you guys that are like 3-5, 3-6 that are amazing. Or guys that have 10 losses on their record and they're amazing fighters. It doesn't matter anything. It's just you're gonna be in the right place, the right time, and you have to have the right people pushing you. Not saying necessarily it's my management, but it's some type of help that we've all got to give each other.
Yeah. So if anyone wants to see you, I mean, if you haven't seen any of this man's fights, do yourself a favour. TP, baseball bat, Twister. Twister's your favourite?
Yeah.
Jump onto YouTube, put in Suman Mokhtari and Twister, and watch him just. Oh, don't touch me.
Yeah.
So, mate, where can we find you on social media? Where can we find your management company on social media? Where can we find ATT on social media? Tell me everywhere that we can find everything you're involved
If you
in.
want to find me on social media, on Instagram or Twitter, you can go to Suman, SUMAN_ATT. One Out Fighter Management would be one out, one word, _ fighter _ management. And obviously we've got at Australian Top Team as well, which is our Instagram page. You can follow us. We've got our Facebook pages as well, which go off the same links. You can follow us there, but more importantly than following One Out Fighter Management or Australian Top Team or myself or any of my fighters, my brother, my girlfriend, whoever it might be. Guys, if you're in the sport, please just get on board. If you like a fighter, make it known that you like the fighter. You know, like their photos, comment on them, share them. You know, it's not sucking up to the fighter. We all need, whether you're a fighter or they're a fighter, whoever it is just back each other up. Get as much content out there as we can. This is what we're doing now. If you like a fighter from Perth, say it, put up his video. It doesn't take anything. It takes 2 clicks, you know, and it is what it is. I think social media is the most powerful tool in the world right now. It used to be television, because it was brainwash, you know, but social media is a powerful tool nowadays, and I think we all need to learn how to use it, but at the same time, not just for ourselves, but for everyone. You know, so I just think that everyone needs to help each other out.
Suman Mokhtari is coming in hot 2018, guys. We'll be doing lots more with him, especially February 17th, Whitlam Centre in Liverpool, UFN's on. We start at 6 o'clock.
6 o'clock start up time.
Ticket, 5, we just got a 5 o'clock.
Oh no, 5 o'clock doors open, 6 o'clock first start.
And tickets, how much, how about a ticket?
We've got tickets for grandstand tickets, which is $75, which peaks straight into the cage.
Great venue.
Great venue.
Great
big
venue.
And we've got the floor seating, which is $55, which is still by the cage as well. But obviously with MMA, sometimes you want to look into the cage instead of off the floor, but they're a cheaper option. You can get them online at www.ticketebo.com.au/urbanfightnight14.
We'll put the link down there.
Yeah, right.
Somewhere there.
Yeah, and then and you can obviously get tables as well. Tables come with unlimited food, unlimited beer, wine, and soft drinks as well. You can go online and you can grab a table for 10. So come in, support us. Our main event is an amazing main event. We've got Nathan Reddy, who's the current UFN
Defending
champion.
his belt.
Defending his belt after just winning it in December.
Yeah,
That's a champion. He beat Duke Didier, who was undefeated before that.
Grueling fight.
Grueling fight,
Oh,
you know, a close fight, grueling fight, 2 great fighters. Duke was the brace MMA champion. Now, you know, he's gotten his first loss, so I'm sure he'll come back stronger. But Nathan's ready to defend his belt, and he's defending it against the man returning, Randall the Limb Reaper Ray, who's been boxing, who's an amazing grappler as well, and he put on a fight of the year, one of the best fights in Australian MMA. Against Jamie Abdallah at AFC.
Yep.
An amazing
Great fight.
Yeah, great fight. So if you know you're going to get fireworks with those two.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to be an amazing show. You know, and there's a stacked undercard with amateur fighters as well. There's a lot of big boys on this card, a lot of heavyweights.
Yeah.
And,
So we should see a fair few knockouts.
Yeah. Well, we got a big cage, so everyone seems to want to move around and throw down that cage. So any fighters, coaches, managers, anyone want to hit me up? Want to get onto the show, please just hit me up, message me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, whatever it is. Just let me know, come down, be a part of the action. You know, if you've got anyone that wants to just watch the fights, you know, if you didn't get the link there, message me, talk to me, and we'll get all that organised as well. Yeah, so it should be another great show.
Good man. Thanks so much.
Thank you very much.
See you soon, mate.